Alright, so boom. If you did it right, it should look a little bit like this. As you can see, some of the tape is on the leather and the whole sole is taped off. The bottom doesn't need to be taped off. You don't technically, you really don't even have to go under. I apologize for the blurry, out of focusness right now, but you don't even need to go under, but I like to, just to kind of keep the dye in case it like drips over, because it could get a little drippy. You know, you don't get too much showing on the sole. My whole idea, I don't want dye on the sole at all. Alright, this is where you want to be. You know, I don't know if you can notice, you can show a distinction between the upper and the sole. That's what you want. And this is, let me pull out the X-Acto knife. Now, never done this for a camera, so pardon my technique, but basically you want to try to get exactly where your nail went. Trying to drag this little bad boy in between there, and I like to start at the heel, because if you mess up and the dye does get a little bit in there, you will be fine, because you know, usually your jeans will cover it up, or over time it wears away and you won't notice it. So anyways, you don't need to see the whole thing, but you just very simply follow the line. Just follow the line. I take my time because I want to make sure that I'm following it. A lot of times you don't want to trust the direction of the razor itself, because what happens is it'll want to start taking its own course. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're controlling the razor and that you're getting in between the leather and the rubber. I like to take multiple strokes. Pause. Don't go all the way through. That's just me. That's how I used to, when I used to draw when I was a kid. That's how I got down. Not one continuous stroke, because that would, you know, I have unsteady hands. It'll mess me up. Excuse me. And yeah, I prefer to do it like this. You know what I mean? One short stroke at a time until I get to where I need to get to. So yeah. As far as the collar goes, I don't think I really need to do a tutorial on that. It's the same principle as the sole. You want to tape half on, half off. What I like to do on this though, since there's a little wedge like sort of under, so to speak, where, like, you know, you dig your nail upwards, you catch it. I like to dig my nail upward as opposed to against, you know, that way. I like to dig my nail under, get a nice little tape crease in between the leather and the well, the smooth leather and the suede, because then same thing, when you get the razor, you want to cut that way, you get under there, it gives you a better, you know, tape seal to block off the the collar from everything else. So yeah, I'll fast forward this part and we'll move on to the next. Alright, so you got everything taped off. Got to make a little correction earlier. I said when you taped off the collar, if that's what you want to do, not to cut flat, like straight across. Turns out that's actually a better idea than cutting up. When you cut up, I'm not sure if y'all getting what I'm trying to say, but this way, you know what I mean, like cutting up into the seam, you don't get as good of a cut. When you cut across it, you get a little bit of a space. The tape kind of flaps down, has a little space. You can take that little piece of tape, tuck it under with your nail, and tuck it under into the leather so that it seals off the leather just a bit better. Alright, so anyways, besides the point, I'm just going to assume that at this point you already scored all the way around the heel, or the sole I should say. Boom, you just make a little cut into the tape and you just start peeling. And if you did it right, you know, it should come away from the sole pretty easily and in a clean edge, as you can see right there along the forefoot. It's a clean edge. You may not see it just yet, but as I continue to peel off more and more tape, you will see that clear separation between the leather and the sole, and that's what we're trying to get trying to get that clean separation. So now you see all the leather's exposed and the heel is taped off perfectly. And looks like I need to cut a little deeper on this one. But yeah, that's basically the idea behind that. And that being said, just to save your time, you don't need to watch me untape the whole thing. So we'll just skip forward and start dyeing. Alright, so now you have your whole thing taped off. I taped off the heel cup, but that's because I'm doing something different. And this part is actually the easiest part. It's just your suede dye. Hold on a second. My swab is caught on a pile of tape there. I don't know if you see that big mess, but yeah. Comes with a little thing like this. And it's very simple. You dip it in the dye. It's going to come out soaking, so make sure you don't drip on anything. Definitely want to make sure that you have some sort of like plastic down, and then you just apply liberally. Make sure it's soaking, make sure that it's nice and, you know, it saturates it. That's how you're going to get the best color. That's how you're going to make sure that it doesn't fade after like a couple weeks. And that's pretty much it. This is your tutorial. It's a lot easier than you think, and most of the work is just in taping everything off just right. The rest of it is pretty common sense. You just, you know, it's not hard. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it. I think I'll end the video here. Well, I'll probably show you my little after picture, and that should be that. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Tumblr, dmwalkin.tumblr.com. Just send me a little message if you have any questions. You know, if you feel like you're doing something wrong, if you have any questions, blah blah blah. I will give a random little piece of advice right now though. My previous Wallabees, I did this one already. There's a little bit of bleeding on the instep. Excuse me. That's a part that you really want to make sure you have sealed off, like really tight. Otherwise, the dye will sneak in and you'll have a little bit of bleeding onto the sole. But truth be told, it's not that big of a deal anyway, because after wearing it for a while, it comes right off. It just on its own naturally just rubs off the crepe. You know, any stains you have on the crepe, it won't be there very long. You know what I mean? Not to mention crepe gets dirty real fast, so worst case scenario, the dirt will cover your stain. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably just come back on and show a quick little after picture, and that's that. Alright, and there you have final results. Made a lot of mistakes on them. This is my first time doing two tones. If I would have done them one color, it would have came out perfect. Other than the fact that I used leather dye instead of suede dye, so I got a lot of bleeding. It bled around the tape, so you can see a little on the midsole. So yeah, lesson learned on this one. Always use suede dye, but if you use leather dye, still come out okay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the mistakes I made was using that, and then on the second Wallaby I dyed, I rushed it too fast. Excuse me. And didn't come out as good as I wanted it to come out. But in the end, I have my own custom Wallabees for cheap. They're mine, my color, all that. So I'm happy with them. So that's that. Hopefully I found it helpful. Notice I have plenty of dye on my fingernails. But yeah, have a good day. Enjoy life.